Turn on that radio and back here. The cops ain't likely to catch up with us, not tonight. So we can all be quiet and peaceable and listen to the music. One, two, whoop, whoop.
Yeah. You feel like I feel like rapping with this music. You know what I mean? What's up, automotive community? It is Thursday. It's 3:30. Come on, somebody. Come on. Are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it, brother.
I am feeling it, man. I'm telling you right now, it is off the chain here at IPD and in Auto Dealer Live Studios. We are literally feeling it. We've got an amazing show. An absolute. You know what makes it such an amazing show?
What's that?
The fact that there's 11 freaking dealers.
Yeah.
On the panel. 11.
Yeah, it's pretty much the.
I'm scared.
Yeah, we have a dealer footprint across the U.S.
Yeah, basically what we're going to do today when we bring the panel on is introduce them, and then we're going to get off the panel.
Yeah.
Basically, look, I'm so excited because we literally have 11 automobile dealers that have taken time out of their busy schedule. Some of these, a lot of these have never been on the show before. And what we're trying to do, guys, is bring you automotive content that you, the dealer, you, the listener, wants to hear.
Yeah, today we're revisiting. It's part 2 of last week's show where we heard a lot of best practices from some of the nation's leading dealers. And today we've just expanded that because hey, who doesn't want to know what successful dealers are doing?
Yeah, and you know what? And you go, well, success is relative. I mean, okay, I sell more cars than this person sells, and so therefore, and that's stinking thinking because I've heard that, like, in marketing, dealing in marketing. Talking to dealers, sometimes, you call a dealer up and you say, hey, Mr. Smith, I'd like to tell you about a program that just moved ABC, blank, 35 cars. Now, anywhere you come from, 35 deliveries is pretty good for a program.
It's significant.
Okay, I don't care where you are. It's 35 deliveries, right? And so, and I've heard this in 20 years. I've heard it 1,000 times if I've heard it once. Well, yeah, but you know what? I'm blowing them out of the water, man. Those guys aren't really doing anything. And of course, number one, they're talking about new cars. They're talking about the fact that maybe they're a Toyota store or they're a Ford store, and so is this person. So they're talking about new cars. But, the bottom line is, and they have no way to know if this dealer that's 400 miles away from them or in another 5 states over, what they're doing in used car business necessarily. So, but the bottom line is I've heard that, and it's really stinking thinking. So you could sit there today and say, well, hold on, wait, some of the guys you're going to have on the show, we don't know how many cars all these dealers sell. Well, you know what? I'm selling more cars than they sell. Oh, they sell 150 cars a month. I'm selling 400. What can I possibly learn from them? Well, I can tell you that it's all relative. It's literally look, what area are you in? And I said this last week. I want to talk to every person, okay, that I can that's number one at something. Meaning, I want to talk to. I will sit down and interview the number one person in that runs the 3,500 meter race.
Yes.
Okay. I want to sit down and talk to the number one hot dog eating reigning champion. Right.
Right.
I want to talk to him or her.
Yeah.
Because they're number one, man. They're freaking number one. Right? Sir, you're number one at blowing bubbles with Hubba Bubba Bubblegum? Okay. Well, I chew Bubblicious, but I want to talk to you because you're number one.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, and the funny thing is, I find that the most successful people have something very similar in common. Most of the successful dealers, and that's that they want to know what successful dealers are doing. In other words, they're constantly feeding that drive to succeed and that drive for the next thing that can help propel them even further.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to tell you, you know what? I can't really put a number on how many great ideas, how many great inspirations, how many, midnight thoughts and ideas that I've received from people that may not be as successful as I am or as our company is, but maybe I listened to them in a conversation. Today I ate lunch with a pastor, a youth pastor, that's pastoring my one of my kids, and a great guy. But I mean, hey, look, he doesn't make the kind of money as a youth pastor, but you know what? He said some things that challenged me and gave me some good ideas. I mean, you can literally glean phenomenal ideas from everybody. And if you're the kind of person that's listening to this show today, and you're the kind of dealer that wants to move forward into the next level, which if you're listening, you are, then I'm going to tell you, you need to get like a whole pad of paper. You need to have your iPad out, and you need to take as many notes as you can, because I promise you there are going to be some thought-leading individuals on this show today sharing best practices that will work if they have the right kind of thinking.
Yeah, and I know for a fact some of the things that we'll hear today are going to be things that you can, if you gravitate toward them, you'll be able to implement them into your store without any cost. Some of these ideas are maybe just a little tweak to help you practice what you're already practicing a little bit better. The execution, increase your execution a little bit more. Things like that. It's not often, sometimes it's not that, hey, we're going to reinvent the wheel idea. It's just maybe you find a way today by listening to some of these dealers of being a little bit more effective in some of the practices you already have. Yeah,
absolutely. And Mike, just give us a thumbs up on when we want to start bringing them on and introducing and so forth. And then also have the guys shoot me a text to make sure if we're leaving anybody out, because there's a huge introduction coming up here, and I want to make sure that I don't introduce somebody and ask them a question if they're not on the panel. But I want to challenge you guys that are listening today, because we got a couple of things, and then we're going to jump into some house cleaning issues here and some things that we have to announce. But I want to challenge you to take a box. Some people say think outside of the box, and I don't want you to think out of the box today. Think out of the box is thinking out of the box is really, I understand what it means, but it doesn't apply. I want you to look at it this way. Take the box and destroy it, remove it. And I want you to remove the box today and be prepared to hear some ideas that are not only out of the box. The people that are going to be sharing these are looking around going, what box? There is no box. I don't have a box. I'm doing whatever it takes to move the needle. I'm doing whatever it takes to be a game changer. And, so a couple of things that are coming up. May 21st, I'm excited about the show next week. What do we have going on next week?
Oh, next week we have the alpha dog himself, Jim Ziglier, unplugged. The whole segment is Jim going to be really just putting on a training session, because we're going to be looking at his video that's received 300,000 hits on YouTube, how to work a car deal. Jim's going to revisit that with us live on the air, and he's going to put a show on.
Absolutely. We have that May 21st. You don't want to miss Jim Ziglier. He's not coming on to do anything other than talk about how to work a car deal. Look, if you're in the car business, then I'm going to tell you that's going to be powerful stuff right there. May 28th, we have Battle of the Pitches. This is going to be something we're really excited about. We're working with some major companies right now, dealers that you know of. Now, see, I have to explain this for a couple of seconds before we introduce the panel. When you first hear vendors are going to come on and going to get a couple of minutes to pitch, you're like, oh crap, because we don't pitch on this show. We don't let our guests pitch. That's not what it's about. It's not so that you're buying anything. Here's what this is going to be about. It's the Battle of the Pitches. Okay. We're going to get two CRM companies. We're working with majors. I'm talking about people that are at every conference, people that you're using right now. Okay. Two major CRM companies, two major digital marketing companies, and two major, I think we're doing lead provider. Or what's
lead providers.
Is it lead provider?
Yes,
okay.
Lead providers.
And then we're going to be having these two. They get 5 minutes each. And they're going to be battling with pitches. And we're going to have a dealer panel of a couple of people on at the end that are unbiased. They're going to say, you know what? This is what I got from these pitches. And they're going to literally compete with one another live on the air. and they're going to be able to, battle.
Hashtag battle of the pitches.
Hashtag boom.
Say it real fast.
Hashtag
battle of the pitches.
battle of the bitches. Pitches.
Pitches.
You know what, man? That was a sabotage. Hey, Mike, just real quick, I want to make sure I got this right. Can somebody text me on who's not on? Okay, and we're going to be going here just 1 second. Are you excited about the shows coming up, man?
Oh, gosh, yes, I am. Excited about the Jim Ziegler's How to Work a Car deal coming up next week. And then on the 28th, just as we just discussed, the Battle of the Pitches.
Absolutely. Very excited about this. We're going to be bringing our panel on. We see a couple of them on Skype right now. The way this is going to go today, guys, we have so many dealers that are participating, and we want to thank them because, they're taking time out of their busy schedule and coming on. They're going to be discussing best practices. We have a total of 11. I'm not sure everyone is on, so we'll at least have 8 or 9, and we have 3 that are going to be Skyped in or on video that you're going to be able to see. And, of course, the rest will be, some of them are in their office, some are traveling in their cars, but they're going to be on the phone, and we're going to be discussing best practices. We're going to do our best to take your Twitter questions. We've already received tons of them, and then later on, stay tuned. We're going to be coming back, and Dave, talk just for a moment before we introduce the panel on what we're going to be talking about and finishing the deal.
Yeah, absolutely. What we're going to do is we're going to start out a desking situation. We're going to start it at the very beginning, and we're going to play about 45 seconds, and then we're going to let the audience, the viewers, the listeners, decide what they would do if they were in that situation. How would they finish the deal? How would they desk out that deal? How would they play it out with the salesperson if they were actually desking the deal? And then we're going to come back after the commercial break, and you're going to get to see how that plays out.
Absolutely. Without further ado, guys, we're going to go ahead and bring our panel on. We do have, looks like we have 7. And I'm going to introduce them all at one time, and so to avoid them talking over one another, we're just going to welcome them to the show, and we're going to jump right in. Dave, I'll let you ask the first question. But we have on the panel, we have the dealer principal managing partner of Fiat of Austin, Alfa Romeo of Austin. Got a privilege, Dave, you and I. My wife, that was the one thing that she wanted to do when she was a digital dealer, is to go and sit in Lisa Copeland's session. We invited Lisa today to talk about something that she touched on there that was very powerful. So we have Lisa Copeland on the show. We have the general manager of Stevenson Hyundai, Stevenson Mazda, Stevenson Kia in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Mike Roberts on with us. We have Dave Sobowski, the general sales manager at Spitzer in Ohio. They're part of a huge group there. Interested to hear what Dave says about best practices. We have Rick McCoy, which I'm pretty pumped about Rick. I know you know Rick here from Twitter and from social media.
Yeah, real excited about having Rick on the show as well. A very experienced general manager. And we also have Marsh Bice. We have Marsh Bice. We have Joe Straffolino.
Nope, we have Danny Benites.
And
Joe's not with us right now. We have Carla Kozinski. And Carla, if I said it right, I hope I did. And Carla is managing partner of Country Automotive Group. And we want to thank you guys for spending time with us. So the next up is our Great American Automotive Panel, sponsored by Jeff Collins Pro Talk. Gentlemen, ladies, thank you for being with us. We've never done this with 8 or 9. So I apologize in advance for everyone talking over. How are you guys doing today?
Awesome. Doing great. Doing great.
All right.
Awesome. Hey, Danny, I'm going to start with you. And by the way, it was a pleasure to meet you here in Tampa recently.
Thanks a lot, Danny.
Yeah.
Hey, Danny, thanks for being in Tampa and coming by and meeting me. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I was there for like 3 hours. All I did is I got to Tampa and I said,
I got to meet Dave Cribbs.
Yeah. Where's Dave Cribbs? Found him. We had some man love, and then I got on the next plane and left.
Danny, let me rephrase that. Thank you, Danny, for not meeting me while you were in Tampa.
Exactly. So, Danny, obviously, we're talking about best practices, and with so many of the dealers on the line, I'm going to start with you first, and we'll just kind of go right down the line. I'll have Dave take over next. But, what's the one thing, if you could share something that has been the one thing that's really kind of made the biggest impact at your dealership, maybe it's a practice, maybe it's a process. Go ahead and tell dealers out there what you think is maybe one of the big game changers at your store.
Hey, Danny, real quick. I just got, I because we host the show, and, I know you'll get me back, but I think I have something funny to say. At your last dealership, the game changer was when you left. I had to say it, Danny, because you busted my chops.
You know what?
Come on, man.
That's pretty good.
You like that?
I love when you have. I love when you share ideas before they die of loneliness.
No,
So
you're
I
a great.
did
You're a great guy.
That's pretty good. That was the biggest impact is when I left. Yeah, that's pretty good. So,
No,
well,
that's.
thanks
I
for
was
having
kidding. I was
me,
kidding.
And no. I'm writing it down. Okay. I don't know that there's any single thing that's made a huge impact.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a lot of reverb here, so I'm going to try to maybe pull this out.
Okay.
I think really we have tried to focus pretty heavily on video here recently, whether it be as a response to leads or using it for content. We've just really committed to video. And one of the things that we've done, I think, made a big impact is we've been doing video appointment confirmations. Everybody knows, I've been on your show over and over again about the importance of appointments and about getting appointments to show up. And everybody knows that you need to confirm appointments, management does. But what we've done is we've taken a video approach to that. And basically, when we set the appointments, the appointment setters or the people in the BDC, well, once the appointment's set, they will go out, pull the vehicle up, and it really takes a rag and a partner and a smartphone. And they simply start wiping the car down and speak to the camera and say, Mr. Villa, we're excited about the appointment that you set for 4 o'clock. We've actually pulled the car up. We're getting it ready. And we're excited about the appointment. We look forward to seeing you. Let us know if you're going to be a little early, a little bit late. Meanwhile, we're going to be here and be ready for you. And then we just text them that video appointment confirmation. And we've seen our shows go up about 15% by using that. So, we started out doing it on a few, and now we try to do 100% video appointment confirmations. And so it's really made a big difference on the amount of people that show. But that's something that the dealers can do. It's rather easy. It seems cumbersome, but it's really not. It's just something you have to put in your process. And a video appointment confirmation takes 1 or 2 people, usually maybe 5 minutes to do it. It's raw, and we just send the text to them. And if a customer's sitting on the fence on whether or not they want to show up, or whether they want to show up to this dealership or this dealership, but they double book themselves, they tend to come to the people that have made the most effort. They think that they're ready for them. It's been very effective for us. So that's something fun to do. It's different. And I can assure you, if you're doing video appointment confirmation, your competition's not doing it. So that's one of the things we do.
Let me ask this, and maybe somebody can weigh in on the panel. And I'm going to ask a question to Lisa here next as a separate question. But does anybody have any feedback on video appointment confirmation and why that works? Does anybody on the panel have an opinion on why that works?
I can tell you guys, we just signed up for it at Digital Dealer, and it's really neat. Like, my internet department loves it, and our customers love it, and I don't have near the experience that everybody on the show does, but just in the last, I think we got hooked up 2 or 3 weeks ago, but, we can already see a bounce.
Okay.
And when you say signed up, because we haven't signed up with anything, we just do it ourselves.
Oh,
well,
this is me. I buy the program because it's easier than trying to figure it out. So,
right. Is it
yeah.
iJob or?
It's CONVICO, Convo, or?
Is it Co-Video?
Oh,
Co-Video,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, Co-Video.
Yeah, Co-Video. There's Co-Video. There's Authentic. There's
okay.
You can do it yourself. iJob. There's a lot of delivery devices. We do it kind of raw. We send it ourselves. But yeah, there's good products out there that send video in an effective way.
Yeah, like I said, I saw it at Digital Dealer, and I saw it. I don't know. I love it, and my whole team loves it. They really think it's a game changer. So
it is
my plug.
It really is.
Well, it
is. And the last thing I'll say, then let these other guys go, is that I would encourage, if anyone's listening, to adopt a video culture. Video is something that, if you do it every once in a while, it's just an episode. But if you create a video culture where, when you look around our store now, it wasn't this way before, but now I can look out at any given time and
Danny dropped off there for a second. And so, Lisa, you there, Lisa?
I'm here.
One of the, co-video. I mean, we have a lot of experience with co-video, and we'll get Danny back on, but sound like he dropped off. Co-video, we actually use that as well, and we're not plugging any company on purpose. But I'll tell you this: I personally think that video works because you're dealing with human beings, and and you're using another sense. You're using another sense, and especially in this day and age when we're on the internet. I mean, you're not at the start of the sale. You don't have the opportunity to touch them. You don't have the opportunity, to look and feel body language, so to speak. So when you implement video, it's bringing back into another sense, which obviously I think is better anytime you can do that. Well, Lisa, let me ask you this, and then I'm gonna maybe have Marsh kind of comment, Marsh Bice comment on this, because this impressed me. What you talked about, and hopefully I say it right. Correct me. What you talked about, delivering happiness as a culture at your dealership. It was so incredible, and I think it was so important and so revolutionary, in my opinion, but yet so simple. I mean, we're humans, and so talk a little bit about that, Lisa, as at least in my opinion, something that you're doing as a best practice that I think everybody should do immediately.
Well, okay, thank you. So what I spoke on at Digital Dealer is, what I've talked about always is that, the struggle is real, and it's been a struggle, for the last 4 years with this brand, getting it off the ground. So when I wrote the proposal to Chrysler for us to get the franchise, I read the book Delivering Happiness, the story of Zappos shoes, and I thought, oh my God, if we could take all these best practices and make it into a car dealership, who would not want to do business with us? Writing on the walls, the customers write on the walls, and having one hashtag that we can manage everything to, whether it's our internal customers, which are each other, which, example, when Johnny the porter brings up the car and the salesperson looks at it and the car isn't cleaned very well, that salesperson can look and say, did that deliver happiness? And if the answer is no, then you go do the job again. And we literally have it written on all the walls. Then the next measure to delivering happiness is when our customer's sitting in the showroom floor. I do that so my salespeople know that I inspect what I expect, and that my customers will come tell me when they're not happy. They'll walk in and say, you did not deliver happiness, and it's on your walls. So then I've got a chance to save that customer, because typically a customer will just walk out the door, be mad at us, and never come back. But now the customers hold us accountable to it, and at least I have the chance at that point to jump in immediately, and it typically works. Mm-hmm. So that's great. And then I use it to manage my managers. And it's just it is our corporate culture internally that we are to do everything that we can do to deliver happiness to each other and to everybody who buys a car from us. And that way, we retain employees. In 2013 we were number 6 in the country for Automotive News Best Workplace. And I believe to my very soul it was because of our DNA of delivering happiness, because this is a hard business and it's stressful. And if you're not happy at work, and if you don't make your customers happy, they're not coming back, and we're not going to be able to retain good employees.
Yeah, Lisa, I love that. And, I think for the dealers that are out there listening, you missed out on the photos of inside the dealership where Lisa's referring to. It's all over the walls. I mean, it's really big and it stands out. So customers see it right away. And it puts you in a position of being able to deal with things proactively instead of reactively.
Absolutely.
And I just love that. And I love the fact that you took it from that concept from outside of the industry. Tracy Myers talked about this last week, about bringing winning ideas from other industries into our industry. And so kudos to you for that, Lisa.
And one thing too, before you go on to the next person, one thing too, if you're scared, dealers, if that thought, and I just kind of had this come to my mind for a second, if that thought put fear in you versus excitement, then I think you need to reevaluate yourself immediately, because here's the thing. It shouldn't put fear in you if you're committed to it, because the bottom line is, if you heard what Lisa said, hey, look, we're not always going to hit it, okay? Nobody's perfect, but our customers are going to bring it to our attention because this is what we say we're about, and it gives me the what? It gives me the opportunity to make it better. A customer they come there, right? They want to come back.
Yes.
And here's another thing too. I bet you probably have the statistics on this, Lisa, but I can assure you that people are going to tell somebody about a bad experience far more than they're going to tell somebody about a good experience. So not only will they leave our dealerships, right?
Yes.
But they're going to tell people don't go there. So, kudos on that. And Somebody had a comment on that? I thought I saw somebody. Does somebody want to say something? I thought I heard something.
I agree. I've read the book too, and that's a wonderful book, and I applaud Lisa for taking some. There's times that you read a book and then you take from a book, and it's two different mentalities, and I really like the fact that Lisa just basically took that, because it's a culture mindset, and if you can, it's something Apple has done a brilliant job, Zappos has done a brilliant job on. And their culture lines up with their message, and I guarantee you, step foot on Lisa's showroom, you can feel it and feel a difference, and that's what customers want. They want to feel something totally different than just a regular old transaction.
Yeah, we talk a lot about customer experience and CSI, and everybody's after it in the car market. There's no question about that, but is that truly your desire? When you put it up on the wall like that and you expose yourself, you're holding yourself accountable, and there is a true desire there to make that happen. So, and by the way, that was Marsh Bice that just commented. And Marsh, I'll ask you the same question that we kind of started off with, which is, is there something that within your organization that you feel that maybe is a best practice, or maybe is something that you're doing maybe a little bit better than the competition, or something that's really helping you succeed at your store?
Well, one thing that's very important for us is the 3 C's. So it's consulting, it's consistency, and it's caring. And that's look, we go through a lot, and our people go through a lot. And one thing I don't want to do is sit up in a tower and boss people around, and you're just so far out of touch with what your people are going through, just from a personal standpoint to a professional standpoint. So the first thing we do is the consulting is every single day we touch every single one of our salespeople, and we check them out. We make sure they know where they are. We set the expectation of what we expect. If they had a bad day yesterday, we check them on that. Hey, what's up? What happened yesterday? What's going on? And we basically take their pulse. So that way, if there is something, then we can get it corrected immediately. The next one is the consistency part of it. The consistency leads with the consulting, meeting with them every single day. Real quick, though, I'm not talking about 20-minute meetings. I'm talking about something just touch them. If it's out there on the parking lot, we just stand there and talk for a few minutes. And then the consistency part of it is that part, and then also making sure that we're adhering to a process. Whether we're having a great month or a terrible month, that we are consistent in everything that we do, both from an internal standpoint and an external standpoint with our customers as well. And then last, but certainly not least, is the caring part. And that's the time where you got to show your people you care. You got to show your blood, sweat, and tears. You got to be going hand in hand with them. You got to go out there and do a demo drive for them at times, take over a deal at times. There's going to be times that because they're fearful, and so that's if you get involved early, very early with your people, and like what Lisa said is, if you build that morale up with your people, then they're going to take that, and their customers, our customers, are going to feel that as well.
Absolutely, Marsh. I mean, let me go to this is somebody that's becoming a friend of mine here, Mike Roberts. He's a car guy, and Mike, we're talking a lot, and it seems like some of these things are kind of out of the box ideas. But let's talk about a couple of. I know you guys are killing it with Hyundai right now. I mean, 3 years ago you guys were doing 80. New and used, and today you guys have done as much as over 200. The same store. I mean, that's freaking crazy. So, Mike, as a car guy, what's some best practices that are regarding sales? What are some best practices regarding like we had Matt Lasco on last week, for instance. If you guys didn't get a chance to hear it, he's implemented this power hour. This 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon, where literally he dismisses his management, his sales force, and his management team to a phone room in his dealership. If they're not with an up, physically with an up, then they all go. And literally they get on the phones, and if they get a live customer on the phone on follow-ups, they go, well, hey, hold on 1 second. My manager's got an idea. And they TO the freaking thing. That's stronger than dirt. And Matt says they literally are closing deals left and right. So on that vein, Mike, what are some things you guys are doing from a practical sales standpoint that you think are helping you guys be successful as you are?
Well, for us, I mean, when you start talking about management involvement and things like that, traditionally the biggest thing, and Mark's kind of hit on this earlier, we get involved way too late. So what we do is we make it mandatory that a manager gets involved in the first 2 minutes as an introduction. Hi, how you doing? This is who I am. This is what I do here. I'm going to try my best to make your experience as best we can before we make that and hand them off back to the customer. So that when they come back to get re-involved in the deal, there's already some acquaintance that's happened, and we make that mandatory in the first 2 minutes. The salesperson's got to make that happen. And that is crucial to the experience, and it makes it a whole lot easier on the customer.
Yeah, I'm 100% on board with that. I used that very effectively in the showrooms when I was in the showroom floor. I'm going to also...
That's strong.
Yeah, it's very, very good, Mike.
And it's simple. And you know what? It's just, it's honestly, it goes right back to everything that you guys are talking about. And I think that everybody on the panel can agree with that because it's involvement.
It's a practice that really, it costs the dealership
nothing.
No extra money. You don't have to go out and buy anything.
But how much money does it make?
Oh, gosh, it makes you so much money. And think of, it does, okay, I'm going to get on a soapbox, and I don't want to do that. But
go for it.
This is the big game changer on that early TO. Not only does it make the customer feel special right from the beginning, but you've got a professional there, a professional TO person that's coming out to meet that customer that knows how to do it in the proper way. So right then, you're not only are you relaxing the customer and getting them involved with the manager early and making them feel more special, but you're also sharing with the salesperson that you're with how to try to, how to do some of those things, how to overcome some of those initial maybe stumbling blocks and lead them to the next step.
And let me ask you this, Rick. I mean, Rick McCoy, I know that you're sitting here, you were nodding your head. I mean, how important is that, Rick? I mean, if I'm the customer, what Mike Roberts just said, okay? And it's so simple, but what he just said, if I'm the customer, I'm feeling pretty special. Would you agree, Rick? The manager just came out.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You have to. They got to be special, or to make us unique over the next person down the road. And it's all about the experience. And that's one of the things I was going to talk about. Is part of that experience. So we have to create for the customer.
Yeah, and Rick, how much easier is it to go in on that TO later in the deal after you've already met that person initially and have some rapport built within the first couple of minutes?
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely important, and I call it a reverse TO. Is get to them early. So many times that we're working deals, or we used to, and there's a guy behind the glass or up in the tower, and they don't know who it is. Go out there. Hey, if you got any questions, you may want to know where your numbers are coming from. I'm the guy. I'm the one sitting on the end over there. Just come up and get me. Not a problem. And it just all the walls and the barriers seem to fall down at that point.
Yeah, I'll do that too. I'll go out there and let them know, hey, I'm the guy working the deal. Is it okay for me to drive your trade? And just I do that so it's not awkward when you take a TO that well, I've already done it. Mm-hmm. And so they already know who I am. They know who the Wizard of Oz is. And then when I come back, I can also, feel if there's tension, if there's some sort of issue, a manager can get involved and take the hundreds of thousands of hours that we've invested to sit on the desk. We'll be able to detect there's an issue and correct it very quickly.
Absolutely. And let me ask...
Hey, guys, I was just going to
Go ahead.
jump in on... just something important on this whole DNA thing, and it all goes to how we engage our customers and whatever. But I literally have a DNA book where you cannot even come to work for us unless you've read the book Delivering Happiness. You can answer my quiz, then you actually go through our culture book and spend a half a day with me, so that when they walk out onto the showroom floor, they understand every single thing about our culture, what we believe, and what we stand for. So I just wanted to throw that in because it's. I wouldn't want everybody to think that I just read a book, wrote a thing, and then we were successful.
Well, yeah, and
it's an absolute condition of employment. You will not step out onto our showroom
and
floor without going through that process.
And you know what, Lisa? DNA, and I want to go to Carla for a second because it kind of leads right into what I was going to say to her. DNA, I mean, we watch enough CSI and Law and Order and all this shows. DNA, I mean, it's impossible to trick it, right? I mean, in other words, hey, you cut me, I bleed, my DNA's there. And so when you figuratively cut the people at your dealership, they bleed Fiat, Alfa Romeo of Austin. I mean, they bleed it. And you know what? You were humble, but Lisa, you're one of the top, if not the top, Fiat store in the country. And you know what? That's an amazing feat. I do business with Tacoma Fiat in Washington, and they know who you are. I think you know why. But let me ask you this, Carla, kind of going, because I know you have a legacy, and your family has owned the dealerships, and I've seen many things that you do through charities and through giving back and bringing in the community. And I know after talking to you, reading your story, we did a story on in Dealer Solutions on you. That's what you're about. You're about, hey, this experience. I know my family's great. And I want to wrap the community up in it. Talk about, if you would, Carla, how important it is, to put your voice and your footprint, so to speak, DNA in the community, and how that's helped your dealership group.
Yeah, we've worked really hard to change the culture in our dealership, not just in our sales department, but throughout the entire dealership. So when you walk into our dealership, you can feel the difference in the store. I'm here on a daily basis. I think it helps to see me present, that customers see me at community events. They see me when they come in the store. I have a great team of managers who I've empowered, and I'm lucky enough that they believe in the vision and they carry it forward to the customers on a consistent basis, which is what it's really about. And I think that all ends up relating to the employees. Our employees enjoy working for a place that's doing business the right way and giving back, and therefore we have less turnover. And we've done just a great job branding ourselves in the community, which is really what we've become known for.
Talk about that for a minute. Just talk about branding and maybe something that you're doing that you can say, hey, this is something we're doing specifically to brand ourselves in the community.
Yeah, well, we've picked a couple things that we've stayed involved with consistently. We give scholarships to all the local schools in memory of my dad. So there's a scholarship every year that we give away. We have a huge breakfast with the students that win the scholarship, and do huge press releases on them, and meet their families, and we follow up with them every year and invite them back when they come home.
That's awesome.
Do Children's Miracle Network every year at the hospital, and we donate a portion of our proceeds from what we sell to it. We do a huge golf tournament in memory of my father, and we donate it to the Jimmy Fund, and we keep all these things out there.
That's awesome.
For our customers to be able, and employees to be able to get involved with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's great. Branding, it's a big buzzword right now in the auto industry, right down to the individual salesperson. And, and we talked about this, Danny kind of got into this with the video too. It's simply, what you're simply doing there is really humanizing the dealer, humanizing the people that are at dealerships, and changing what has been commonly the perception of the dealer. So I think that's amazing, Carla. And we're gonna ask Dave Sobolski with the Spitzer Auto Group. Dave, what's something that you're doing there at your dealership that you feel has been maybe a game changer, or a process that you've implemented there that might be unique or helping you succeed?
Well, what we do here is it's all about taking care of the customer. I mean, we're a dealership that sits probably 10 minutes from the GM auto plant, Lordstown, where they build the Cruze, and so we're a little bit under a different microscope, I believe. They're a lot more critical. They're GM employees, and they are special. What we've always done is I've liked this word culture that I've heard so far. Culture, when it comes to this thing, a culture. And the one thing that my general manager has developed is the culture of taking care of the customer. We know that there's programs out there that General Motors puts out there. If you get qualifiers, you get monies back. But that's never really what it was all about. It was always about he teaches us, and we try to pass it down to our employees, that we might not be able to fix the car, especially when it comes to service, but it's our goal to fix the customer. Mm-hmm. And that's just an approach that we've just always taken. We look at an opportunity, a problem, taking that problem, obviously converting it into an opportunity, whether it's to make a customer happy or to possibly somewhere down the line, what the ultimate result is to sell a car. But we've always done real good. The thing that I like to do is what I think is one of the best practices is that every morning I pull up our CSI report, from General Motors, and what I'll do is I'll call the guys up individually if they did get a survey, and I talk about it, good or bad. Obviously, we don't want to see any bad ones, but We take the bad and we talk about it, and we move on to what we think that he or she could have done that it doesn't happen again. Now, don't get me right. Don't get me wrong, should I say? I mean, everybody's not going to be completely satisfied. But Alan Spitzer, who is our owner, he takes the philosophy of this, that we can't say you can't keep everybody happy. That'll happen. You can't make every customer happy. He believes that if we take that approach, we'll just take it that, well, we can't make everybody happy, and then more and more people will become unhappy. Mm-hmm. Our goal is that 100% of our customers leave here completely satisfied. And unfortunately, I lost the video part here, but some of our guys here, we wore little badges here. It says Spitzer, and it says completely satisfied with a check mark next to it. And you know, it's all about service is king. I mean, you know, Del Spitzer, who's one of the founding fathers of our whole dealer group, you know, he taught me back in 1988. He said, David, you know, one of the biggest reasons why you won't call your customers back after you sell them a car. And I'm like, why's that, Del? He said, because you're afraid that there's going to be a problem. He taught me that the sale doesn't start with when the car goes over when they sign on the bottom line. The sale starts once they go over the curb, and the follow-up that you do with them to make sure that they're happy after it. So if they have a problem, you're there. And that's one of the biggest things when it comes to the game changer. I mean, that's one of the things that's kept us going is obviously our customer service. And we're in an area out here where it's a GM-laden country, you know, and we are under a big microscope where the guys at the plant, word gets around. Right. That's got to be our worst thing that could ever happen because of all the thousands we spend in advertising. Sure. Trust me, could go down the tubes with just one bad person out there.
Absolutely. And here's what we're going to do, guys. I mean, obviously with so many people, we're out of time very quickly, but I want to go back to Danny, and then we're going to go down the list, and Dave and I are just going to go down the list here in this order. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds just to say, hey, this is it. This is our, you know, this is what we want to say. This is our closing remarks here. Danny, go ahead and take 30 seconds, man.
Okay. Well, along this discussion about culture, and you know, I think that it's no longer acceptable to satisfy a customer. I think you have satisfied customers, satisfied employees. Then you have to move them into engaged customers and engaged employees, and then eventually you have to create ambassadors. You have to create ambassadors in your workplace as employees, and you have to create ambassadors as customers. And it's a progression. You can't have ambassadors as customers, but only satisfied employees. So we have to create ambassadors in our workplace with our employees and our customers if we're going to retain customers.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Danny Benites. And Marsh Bice?
Again, taking from these shows that you guys are putting out there, great leaders out there. I've learned so much and taken so many notes from what you guys were talking about today, and so I think we need to continue to have these discussions. It seems like that we're all starting to get into caring more of our culture and everything like that. So it's just, again, going back to what I said, which kind of merges with everybody else, is the consult with your people. Always maintain that consistency, and also make sure that you have a caring heart, not only for your people, but also for your customers as well.
Absolutely. Rick McCoy.
Well, we need to be more proactive, and I think a lot of that goes right back to the culture part of it. If we know there's a complaint from customers of how we do business, address it up front. Because I was told a long time ago that if you got a skeleton in your closet, you need to brag about it to make it go away. So if we just bring up the problem, or everybody has a problem with time. They're always in a hurry. They're in a rush. But if we address that, hey, if we can save you a little time, make it easy, make it convenient for you, does that sound like a game plan to you? They go, oh, well, absolutely. You've got their ear, and the rest of it, it'll come with them.
Thank you,
I
Rick.
appreciate being invited to the show today,
Thank
and
you.
Look forward to it again.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rick McCoy. Lisa Copeland.
Yes.
Just a closing remark, 30 seconds to kind of wrap it up.
Well, I appreciate everything that you guys do, and I think to everybody else's point, you know, it's just going to be so important to raise the reputation of the auto industry and to build strong cultures within our organizations. So keep doing it.
Thank you very much. Mike Roberts.
And I'll do it. Thanks for having me on. This is my first time on, and for us, our big thing is try and keep it simple. You know, there's been so many programs and so many things that overcomplicate what we do. We try and keep the sales process simple so that it's easy for everyone to understand.
Absolutely. Well said.
Thank you. And Carla Kudzensi.
Yeah, I think, and first of all, thank you for having me on. It's such an honor to be on with everyone. I think it's important to make sure that we're doing a good job empowering our managers and giving them the opportunity to do the right thing for our customers, and that we get involved and give back to the people that support us. We hashtag everything I love it here because we want our employees to truly love working here, and therefore they make sure our customers absolutely love doing business here.
Outstanding. Man, that's been an amazing panel, guys, and you know, the best practices, and we want to thank you guys for coming on. It's been just outstanding, for taking your time, and you guys have a wonderful day. And Auto Dealer Live, don't go anywhere. We are going to be right back. And here's the thing, man, Matt Koenig is on the hot freaking seat. That's right, Matt's on the hot seat. I don't know if he can handle it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. He's a pretty big boy. I think he'll do all right, but we're gonna.
I think he's scared. I think he's scared, man. He's scared of the haters out there. I don't know. I think New Car Mark's got his number. I don't know what's up. But you don't want to go anywhere because Matt Koenig is on the hot seat. The next up.
And
the next up.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the next up. First of all, I just want to say great American Automotive panel brought to you by Jeff Cowan's Pro Talk.
Absolutely.
We appreciate that, Jeff Cowan.
Yes, sir.
And the next up is you finish the deal. I'll start out desking it, then we're going to go to commercial, and you figure out what you would do. And when we come back from commercial, you'll see how it plays out.
Don't go anywhere.
What you got?
Hey, I got these people, they're on a new Camry.
Okay.
And,
are they ready to do business now if all the terms are agreeable?
No, they won't drive the car. They got 10 minutes, and they want our best price. They say we have one shot. They're not going to do business today. They said they'll make a decision in the next 2 or 3 days and let us know.
Other than that, they're ready to go?
Yeah, everything else is fine besides all that.
Wow. Okay. So no matter what the figures are, they don't want to do business now?
No, they said they just want our best price, one shot, out the door, and they'll let us know in a couple of days if we were the lowest people or not.
Okay. Do we have the right car in stock?
We do have the right car.
Okay, well, that's a good news, right?
Yeah, that's one good thing.
Okay.
Cellcology salespeople are some of the coolest salespeople in the country, and they sell a lot of cars. Why? Because they build amazing brands that their customers never forget. And they collect hundreds of referral leads every month from the customers they sell. On top of that, they partner with local businesses to exponentially grow their marketplace awareness within their community. And they follow up like a boss with sold and unsold customers. If you'd like to have a team that does the same thing, please go to cellcology.com or call 612-387-7776.
Hello, I'm Alan Ram, president and founder of Alan Ram's Proactive Training Solutions. Let's face it, good managers are defined not by what they do when they have a showroom full of customers, but more by what they do when there are no customers in the showroom. In 2015, whether you like it or not, the car business is all about conversion of opportunities and driving traffic. All those great closers and desk people are not doing you a whole lot of good if your dealership is not converting effectively on the telephone and internet. As an owner or dealer, when you see 5 salespeople standing by the front door doing nothing, don't kid yourself. Your dealership is not being effectively managed. Management by Fire is a 2.5-day intensive course conducted entirely by me that teaches managers how to effectively manage in today's automotive industry. Simple processes for driving high-quality traffic. For more information on upcoming events, please call my team at 866-996-4665. Once again, 866-996-4665. Thank you.
And we are back. And we're going to talk about that desking, how that played out here in a few minutes. But first, the next up in the hot seat is Matt Koenig from Koenig Co.
What's up, Matt?
Koenig,
you guys never say
Co.
Koenig Co. You know I love you.
Okay, there's like 4 different versions of your name, so we're trying to get them all figured out.
Well, we were saying it in Spanish.
Yeah.
You know what? As long as you say it in any language, I'm content.
Okay.
Awesome.
Hey, so, Matt, here's the thing, man. You're in the hot seat. So we like you and we're your friends, but we got to ask these questions. Look, just so you know that we didn't do this. These are actually like printouts of tweets and emails that we got. So our guys got, so that you know that we have to read these. Okay, here's the question, man, of the hot seat, okay? This is question number, it says, Matt, and you probably going to know who this is. Matt, when you took part in the UP system debate, there were many that asked why you were on the panel when you're a vendor, not a dealer. Why are you part of this discussion? I'm confused. Did I miss something?
So I don't know who that is. Probably nobody else in the world knows who the hell this guy is either. But I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say his name is New Car. Heck, I think I'm not already forgot. Here's the thing, man. When you're in the hot seat, it's exciting. But when you're in any debate on Auto Dealer Live, it's important. And just because I crossed over to the vendor side, the dark side, it doesn't mean that I forgot how to run the automotive dealership. The fact of the matter is, every single day, I connect with dealers and help them sell more cars, make more money, and have a happier team working for them. New Car Mark, who in the hell does he know who he's got? I think that guy just tweets all day to people that are kicking ass, and I guess when somebody knows who he is, maybe his tweet will matter.
Well, I mean, and I'm sure he's probably going to respond to that. So, I mean, so basically, I guess
Yeah, he's doing nothing but sitting at home on Twitter, so he probably will.
Well, I mean, in the question, I guess the question comes from here, and I'm looking at the notes here. It comes from basically, basically, he's questioning Matt. I guess you just hit it. He's questioning, hey, what have you done for me lately? I guess that's the thing, and so.
That's actually, it's much like if he's the guy, it's actually a good question to ask, and it should be asked of every vendor out there, because there are a lot of people that never sat on that side of the desk, a lot of people who never worked a deal in their life, never trained a salesperson to go from zero to hero, and it's actually a really good question. Mm-hmm. And the fact of the matter is, with all the debates out there, like car gurus getting dealers, letters and texts that aren't good, and all the problems that some vendors cause, I think every dealer should ask their vendor, what the hell do you know about my side of the business, and what have you done for me? So I'm not afraid of that question. I just like to give the guy a little crap because I don't know who the hell he is.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, there are those out there that just say that you're a little bit over the top. Number one, right? Number one, not number two. And but I mean, what do you say to them? I mean, really, and honestly, is that too much? I mean, are you maintaining your professionalism?
Look, here's the thing, man. Somebody a long time ago told me this: if you don't believe in yourself, you sure as hell are not going to convince somebody else to. And listen, I'll never apologize for being so enthusiastic about helping people do what they love. My buddy and your buddy, Grant Cardone, I mean, the guy's freaking over the top. People talk crap about him all the time. But what's amazing that there's many people that talk crap, they sure love to follow him on Twitter and engage and pretend they know him and rub elbows with him at events. For me, the thing is this. If you can deliver, you shouldn't be ashamed to be over the top and let people know you exist. Stephen Covey said, you don't do the world a favor by putting the skate over your lane. The day I feel like I can't help you and make more money is the day that maybe I'll be a little quieter. But I don't think that day is ever going to come. It's funny, I was talking to Chris, since you're streaming all this live on Meerkat. I was talking to my wife earlier because we were talking about death insurance. And I said, when the Pope died, all the Catholics were sad. When Matt dies, every freaking religion can be sad. So tweet that, New Car
All right, here's the third question, Matt. Matt, do you feel like the language you use may hurt your credibility as a professional?
So, you know what? It's funny. I would say maybe like 1 or 2% of people are concerned about that. And the reality is this. I don't just walk around throwing that bombs around like candy in a parade, but the reality is there are some things you get so passionate about, and sometimes you just can't wrangle it in. So, you know what? If people are seeing that and they're missing the message, then it probably isn't going to help them if I write them a whole manual of the right things to do, because they're stepping over dollars to pick up bombs. So I'm not too worried about it.
Okay. And the final question is going to come from us here at Auto Dealer Live. The thing that we're wondering is, how do we get you out of your shell?
I love you guys, man. It is always exciting to be with you guys. You know what? The day that I go in my shell, here's what I'll tell you. You guys better drag me out of it if you ever see me slow down, because you two guys are some of the best people out there in your crew. I know we were giving Mike some crap about his IT skills a minute ago, but I love you guys, man. I love you guys. If I ever go in my shell, you better pull me out of it quick.
Well, listen, I know you got to go too, but you have a minute left. 51 seconds on the hot seat. The last minute of the hot seat is because you guys endure.
Your dealership wants to connect with Spanish-speaking buyers. Hook up with me. Your dealership wants to actually have compliant text message lead gen. Hook up with me. So more important than spending money with me, no matter what you do, the best thing you can do is give a shit about your customers. That's it.
Well said, man. Thank you for being on the hot seat, brother.
Matt. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, guys. Have an awesome day.
You too, Matt. Have a good week, man. Matt Koenig. Awesome. Hey, how about that? If you want to be on the hot seat, we've already got a line of people out the door. We had it literally. And by the way, if you applied for the hot seat, just because you weren't on today, obviously you'll be hearing from our producers. And if you want to be on the hot seat and you got some haters, and listen, you want to address them, we're going to ask straight questions that come in just like this, and then we're going to give you the last minute to tell everybody that why they should do business with you and why they should follow you. Thank you to Matt Koenig, and stay tuned for an awesome lineup from the hot seat, because it's going to only get better
and hotter
and cedar.
So we're going to go back where we left off,
Okay.
Dave, at you finished the deal. They've already seen the initial scenario. So how would you desk that deal? Let's take a look and see how it plays out.
Paul, what you got? Hey, I got these people, they're on a new Camry. And,
Are they ready to do business now if all the terms are agreeable?
No, they won't drive the car. They got 10 minutes, and they want our best price. They say we have one shot. They're not going to do business today. They said they'll make a decision in the next 2 or 3 days and let us know.
Other than that, they're ready to go?
Yeah, everything else is fine besides all that.
Wow. Okay. So no matter what the figures are, they don't want to do business now?
No, they said they just want our best price, one shot, out the door, and they'll let us know in a couple of days if we were the lowest people or not.
Okay. Do we have the right car in stock?
We do have the right car.
Okay, well, that's a good news, right?
Yeah, that's one good thing.
Okay. Let me ask you a question, Paul. Do you think it's a good idea to work figures? Sorry, I dropped my little pen here. Do you think it's a good idea to work figures before they've driven a car?
No, I really don't.
Okay. What are the odds of getting them into a car?
For them to buy it today, it sounds like zero. Maybe driving it, they said they won't do it. They've only got a few minutes. They want the number. They're just being really hard-nosed about it.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to work figures without them driving the car.
Okay.
That's the bad news.
Okay.
The good news is this. I'm going to put them in the car.
Okay. How are you going to do that?
Well, I'm going to get to that in just a minute. But let me ask you this. Before we even go there, when you get this customer, how does that make you feel?
Oh, it's frustrating. It seems like I get all the flakes. They don't want to drive. They won't.
Would you rather have a different customer?
Oh, absolutely, right now.
What if I shared with you a way that when you get this particular customer, you're more excited about them than you are another typical customer?
It would be great. I would be happy.
Okay, well, let's think about this now. They're coming in here with this kind of position. They're approaching the dealership in this manner. Why do you think that is?
I guess they're scared. I mean, you know how people are.
They're either scared, they've had a bad experience, or they have some preconception of what to expect, right?
Right.
Okay, so they're on their defenses.
Yeah.
Okay, and they may legitimately want to shop our number, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay, so no matter what scenario, of those 4 scenarios, what do you think the good news is there?
willing to at least take our number.
You have a player.
Really?
Paul, you've got a buyer. They're a stone cold buyer. You don't go into a dealership like this and subject yourself to that if you're not buying the car. Right? This is probably would you agree this is probably the last place they want to be based on their behavior?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay then. So what do you have?
I guess we have a buyer.
You have a buyer. Now, see, it's the job of this of the buyer sometimes is to take you out of your steps, right?
Yeah.
And your job is to stay in the steps, right?
Right.
Have you already done the meet and greet?
Yes.
What's next?
To sit down and qualify.
Okay, have you done that?
Well, we found the car that
Yeah, you have. You're on the car. That's the car they want, right?
Yep.
It's in stock. What's next?
Test drive.
Test drive. Walk around, test drive, right?
Yep.
So that's the part where we're having the stumbling block, right?
Right now, yeah.
Okay, what if I share with you a way right now? I'm going to go meet Mr. and Mrs. Smith here. And what are the odds, if you had to bet right now, what would you say I could get them in the car in that 5 minutes?
In 5 minutes, I would say that there's less than a 10% chance.
Okay, but let me ask you this. If I share with you how to do that and you see that it works, would you do it from now on?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Hey, Nancy. Hi, Dave Cribbs. Jim. Hi, Dave Cribbs. You too. Thank you, sir. I'm working with Paul. Obviously, he told me that you're looking for a best price on a Camry. You know exactly what you want. The good news is you've come to the right place. Only really take me a couple of minutes to put that together for you. In fact, if you need any other information like payments, interest rate, anything, I'll be happy to provide that as well. I had one quick question. I know that you're looking at a Camry LE, and Paul's given me the kind of the layout of what you're looking for so that we can price it out, just that way. Right. Would it matter to you, because when I'm pricing it out, one of the things that I take into consideration is the fact of how long a car's been in stock. So if I have a car that's been in stock, say 20 days, that's exactly what you want, and I have a car that's been in stock 40 days, that's exactly what you want, they're both brand new, would that matter to you if you could buy one a little bit cheaper?
If the price is going to be better, absolutely, that would matter.
Okay, so you prefer to get a lower price if the car had been in stock 20 days more?
I don't think the 20 days would make a whole lot of difference.
Yeah, not a big difference. The good news is I have 2 of those cars in stock that seem to match up exactly the way you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the exact one, because when I price it out, you're going to see the exact car that I'm giving you that price on. That way, whatever decision you guys want to make from there, you can do that, okay?
Okay.
All right, Paul pulled it around. Let's go take a look.
Did you get the scenario right? So did you get the scenario? Did you get the scenario right?
Yeah. How did your desking play out? And
hashtag Auto Dealer Live and tell us if you got it right or not. I don't think one person is going to say no, I sucked. I think everybody's going to say, you know what, that's exactly what I would have done.
And you know what? Here's the thing about these desking scenarios is there are really a couple of different ways that you can go. And in this first, as we kick off this series of You Finish the Deal, I wanted to begin it with a situation where we had to get up and take a TO before we really started desking the actual deal. And we'll get into desking and figures and the whole 9 yards as we continue. If you like this series,
come on,
tweet out hashtag You Finish the Deal. Tweet out what you would have done. Tweet out your thoughts. Tell me, did I do the right thing? You'll find this and a lot of other scenarios, by the way, in Auto Dealer University. And you can get in touch with me at Desking Deals to find out more about that. But Dave?
Yeah, and you know what? And we saved the best for last. And, we want to thank Erin and Amanda Ryan and the Get Your Social On crew, because let me tell you something, these girls are top notch. And I know our show runs over, and I want to thank you guys listening. We've gotten tweets and feedback that you guys are hanging with us. And you know what? We're on the internet, baby. So the bottom line is, great content, great shows. Sometimes it goes over a little bit. But the next up, I'm so pumped for the next up to be Get Your Social On with Amanda and Erin Ryan. We'll be back in just a few minutes to wrap things up.
Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to Get Your Social On. I'm Erin Ryan.
And I'm Amanda Ryan.
Today we are going to be talking about your business profile picture matters more than you think. You might think, oh, it's just a picture. What's the big deal? Well, it's a huge deal when it comes to businesses. For example, a lot of businesses, dealerships included, they actually focus more on the cover photo on G+, Twitter, Facebook. That's not the spot that you need to be focusing on. It's that little tiny square profile picture on every single one of those social networks.
Right, and you don't need to have your profile picture busy. You kind of want to cram everything in there, don't you?
You do.
And because I know you want to let everybody know, who you are and what's your brand and what's your phone number and where's your address. But you kind of need to keep it more simplistic, and you want it to be something that people can recognize for many days to come.
Exactly. So what's a good one? What's a bad one? Well, just having a picture of a vehicle or maybe even just your building, not really a great one to have as your first impression of your business profile pic.
Yeah, because you got to think about, what are you telling the person? If you're just putting a picture of a building, nobody knows what that is a building of, except for you and maybe everybody else that works at your dealership.
Right.
But that's not the people you want to target.
Right.
Right. So, and the same with this one right here, the bad one.
The drama.
Soap opera moment.
Yeah.
The bad one.
The bad one. It's not telling anybody anything.
No, and if people don't know what vehicle that is, it's really not telling them,
Right.
So you got to focus on what's good.
Which is this Nissan logo, and it's very simplistic, it's very to the point, but it's going to send a huge message. So when you think of a profile pic, think about it being your first impression. This is what people are going to see over and over and over again. So let it be a logo that you have. If you have a person that represents your dealership, use them. You want to make sure that it's more centered in the middle, because you got to think about mobile and other devices besides just laptops.
Right.
And your profile pic or avatar then becomes a little tiny thumbnail. And to make sure that it's fitting all sizes properly, you want to look up the dimensions for Twitter,
which you can easily do on Google
Plus, as well as Facebook.
And they change regularly when the platform changes. So when you notice a platform change, check the dimensions.
Make sure they're updated.
You don't want your bow tie for Chevrolet cut off.
No.
Or anything like that. So always make sure you're checking to see that your images are fitting correctly.
And we've said it before, but I think it's worth saying now again. It takes 17 times for someone to associate an image with the wording. And that the name of your dealership is already going to be with your status update. It's going to be 123 Ford at the top, and then you're going to have your avatar profile pic or your little thumbnail showcased there as your image. You want people to, at that 17th time, say, hey, you know what? That thumbnail is 123 Ford. I don't even have to look up. It's the same way,
it's just, you just automatically know what it is. Just like, for instance, Pepsi.
You
see the little
Coca-Cola, actually.
Well, you see the little circle or, that
it
design.
It's like a rubber ball, right?
Yeah, the red, blue, and white rubber ball. Yeah, you know exactly who that is. You don't have to, I wonder, is that Coke?
No. Right. And the thing is, too, is like, every time I see a polar bear, I think of Coca-Cola, right?
And sometimes Santa Claus around Christmas,
around Christmas time. So certain things can trigger the memories in your mind, and that's what you want to start doing for the people you are targeting. Okay, so here is a really important reason. I know it's kind of washed out on your end, but just to show you here, there's a little tiny thumbnail, right? This is what a status update looks like in the news feed. There's your little tiny thumbnail. There's your name. Let's just say this is your profile pic. This is what it would look like. It's just a square. It's very simplistic.
But it's that small little thing that people see and that they have to associate. So if you put a bunch of, your phone number,
lettering,
your address, it just doesn't make sense.
It's just too messy.
People won't be able to see it.
And people will just want to look away. So keep thinking simplistic, because the reason is majority of people will not go to your pages, whether it's on Twitter, G+, or Facebook. They're going to see all of your content through their newsfeed. So you want to make sure that the image that they see associated with your brand name in the newsfeed is clean, it looks fantastic, you want to make sure it's high quality, and it represents your brand spectacularly. Okay, so keep that in mind. The newsfeed is where your presence is really strong,
right?
Not your pages. Okay, so finally,
company is what people are going to associate you with. So if you put a picture of a cat as your profile pics, just because you know that that's popular and it'll grab people's attention, but it has nothing to do with you, you become irrelevant.
It's not cute.
No, it's not cute.
So make sure that what your image for your profile pic displays is an actual representation of your brand, but also keep in mind that you can't have it cluttered.
No.
You're going to ruin your brand, and you want to make sure that people don't ignore your posts. And this is one way to make sure that you keep being seen within any type of newsfeed, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, or Google+. Now it's time for Get Your Social On. Social shout-outs. At dberry66. Hello, Dawn.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
At Amy String Auto, another female back-to-back.
What? Hey.
Hey from us girls over here at GYSO. At S. Dustin Auto.
Nice.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Dustin.
Hello.
And at John_Blakely.
Hello,
if you would
John.
like to connect with us on Twitter, you can. Your name could be featured here if you're within the automotive industry. You can tweet me at the Erin Ryan.
Or me at Amanda Shares.
Or together at GYSO Addicts, and your name could just end up right there.
Nice.
How cool would that be? You can also connect with us on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/getyoursocialon. And you can ask us social media questions if you have any concerns about
Catch up on
marketing.
old. We post old videos, so if
do.
you're on Facebook, you're like, what can I do? Watch us.
Watch us.
Yeah, come on over and chat with us. Tell us how we did and what topics you'd like to learn about.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to get caught up, even like way back to the beginning of Get Your Social On, you can at wikimotive.com/GYSO. You can read articles that are associated, and you guys are featured there, so it's
So many
everything
cool
Get Your Social On. So you can go over there and check it out. You can even watch us live there.
Yay.
All right, friends, until next time, thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week, and in the meantime, get your social on.
Get your social on. Get your social on. Get your social on. Get your social on.
We're back. Hey, a couple shout outs, man. First of all, I want to thank all of our guests. A shout out to Curtis Snyder. Shout out to Lindsay Shaker. Curtis Snyder. Shout out to Shauna Nadeau, Calvin Pierce, Ted Hip, Stacey Ellison, all you guys that are tweeting. There's just too many to shout out. These are just going down the list here, man. Just want to tell you guys, want to thank you for sticking with us and for just helping us blow Twitter. Thanks. Shout out to Frank Ford, Mike the car guy, anybody you see in there, Dave. I'm just going down the line, man. I'm not going to be able to get to you all. Justin Perrine,
I was going to say Justin
Shannon
Perrine.
McQueen. Anyway, I can't do it all. We're out of time. Hey, a couple of shows. Victor Montoya. Hey, listen, May 21st, don't forget, next week. All right? Do me a favor if you're on Twitter. Just do me a favor, and then we can initiate the tweet if you want. Or if somebody wants to initiate it now, Mike, make sure you look out for it. The first one that initiates it, then say, hey, at Jim Ziglier, we can't wait to see you on hashtag Auto Dealer Live next week. Hey, at Jim Ziglier, we can't wait to see you on hashtag Auto Dealer Live next week. And then let's just blow it up, man. I'd like to have like 150 freaking retweets of whoever sends that out first. Mike, whoever the first one is. And I'm going to ask you guys just to get on. Let's retweet. Let's make Jim Ziglier, let's make him wonder what's going on. Let's wake him up from his afternoon nap.
Yeah. Let's make his phone blow up.
May 21st, Jim Ziglier. Next week, How to Work a Car Deal. May 28th, Battle of the Pitches. We still need CRM companies, Dealer Socket, Vin Solutions. These guys, hey, listen, if you guys want to be on, man, I'm not sure who they've reached out to. We need 2 CRM companies that are willing to get on the air. You're going to get 5 minutes to pitch your product. No debate, no, not together. We're going to bring you guys on separate. We're going to give you equal time. We're not biased. We don't use one. We want 2 digital marketing companies, and we want 2 lead providers. So a total of 6 pitches, 2 of each, three different subjects. And then we want you guys to have an opportunity. So
this
first
is a huge opportunity.
Man.
I mean, this is
your chance to get in front of thousands of dealerships and tell why you're the best.
Yeah, this is your audience. This is your customer, and you're going to have the opportunity to get in front of thousands of them at the same time.
May 28th.
We're only going to choose 2 in each category.
Battle of the Pitches. Hashtag Auto Dealer Live at Auto Dealer Live. Follow us on Twitter. We want to thank you guys. Go to our website.
Before we leave, Kenny Landrum was number 1 to tweet that out for Jim.
Come on, Kenny Landrum.
Come on, Kenny Landrum. The Kenny Landrum.
The Kenny Landrum.
Calvin Pierce was
Thanks for the shirt. Got him today, Kenny. By the way,
got the shirts.
Got
Kenny,
my
they're
got my
awesome.
KennyLandrum.com shirt. And hey, listen, go to our website autodealerlive.net, and we want to see you guys next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.